Good evening. I'm Tim Brown, Chairman of the Board of Directors at Day Air Credit Union. It's my privilege to welcome you to our 78th annual meeting. Before we get started, I'd like to share a few housekeeping notes. If you have any questions throughout the meeting, please email them to annualmeeting@dayair.org. We'll follow up with your questions live at the end of the formal meeting, and we'll follow up with you offline for any questions that we can't answer during the session. A recording of this meeting and the script will be available at dayair.org/annual meeting. At this time, I'd like to officially call the 78th annual business meeting of Day Air Credit Union to order. Let's start by observing a moment of silence for our military men and women serving our country and for our first responders serving our communities. Thank you. This year, 2,113 members voted by proxy. Let the record reflect that there is a quorum for this meeting. We're digitally providing the meeting minutes from the 27th of April 2022 annual meeting and the 2022 annual report. You can find links to these documents on our website at dayair.org/annual meeting. I'd like to receive the minutes as written. Let the record reflect that the minutes were received. Now I'd like to introduce the rest of the board of directors who serve on your behalf to set the credit union's direction. These hardworking, dedicated individuals volunteer considerable time and energy in fulfilling their duties on behalf of the membership. I'll begin with the other members of the executive committee of the board. Al Bertliff, Vice Chairman, John Weckesser, Secretary, Ray Wagoner, Treasurer. Other volunteer members of the Board of Directors include our directors, Brian Hayes, Mike Conway, Mallory Coakley, Patsy McCurry, Melissa Bauer, and our Associate Director, Maha Kashani. I'd also like to recognize the executive team of your credit union. These individuals have a relentless drive to deliver value to you, the member owners of Day Air. Bill Burke, President and Chief Executive Officer. Janelle Eichstead, Senior Vice President and Chief Experience Officer. John Theobald, Senior Vice President and Chief Lending Officer. Deanna Dolling, Vice President of Finance, and April Higgins, Director of Human Resources. Thank you to all for attending our annual meeting and for your outstanding support of Day Air Credit Union. I'd like to deliver this year's audit report and the election results next. The financial statements can be found in the 2022 annual report at dayair.org/annual meeting. 2022 was again a year in which your credit union posted excellent financial results. Total revenue, total assets, and total capital also increased to record-setting levels. Day Air's net capital remains more than double what our federal deposit insurer, the NCUA, considers adequately capitalized. We're proud to report that your credit union is safe and sound. To be true to our mission, we invest the deposits made by the membership in loans to other members. In 2022, loan portfolio grew by 21% to over $558 million. Both deposits and loans grew as your credit union served the needs of borrowers, savers, and investors. The financial statements highlight the sound financial position and strong membership base of your credit union. As we continue to leverage these assets, we're confident that our growth will continue in the coming years. The board of directors engaged Forvis, a certified public accounting firm, to execute an independent audit of Dayer Credit Union. We're pleased to report that the credit union's accounting records are accurate, the internal controls being utilized are sufficient, and the plans and policies established by the credit union's board of directors are being followed. Finally, I'm pleased to share the results of the 2023 election of the board of directors. The membership elected the following individuals online by ballot to serve a 3-year term on the board of directors. Incumbents, myself, Tim Brown, and Brian Hayes were elected, and I'm pleased to welcome our newest board member, Ms. Cindy LeBrun. Congratulations to you all. This time I'd like to recognize Mike Conway for being a dedicated and invaluable member of Dayer's board of directors. His involvement has contributed significantly to the furthering of the credit union's success, resulting in noteworthy achievements, such as ranking among the top 100 area businesses, gaining recognition as the best place to work, and the naming of Dayer Ballpark. Working with Mike on behalf of Dayer's members has been a pleasure and an enriching experience, as he enabled Dayer to achieve its missions and implement a long-term vision. His invaluable contributions will be embedded in the credit union's future success for years to come. Now it's my privilege to introduce Bill Burke, President and CEO of Dayer, to deliver the President's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. I'm honored to be attending my 25th annual meeting as President and CEO of Dayer Credit Union. It's just truly been a great ride to work with this phenomenal group of directors and an incredibly talented staff. Your credit union continues to operate by the same principles it was formed with 78 years ago. Dayer exists to enhance the financial well-being of our member owners. We strive for members to trust us with all their financial needs. Dayer empowers associates to act with integrity and compassion, and to treat all members with dignity and respect. The credit union is governed by our board of directors, whom you've elected to serve the membership's best interests. Simply put, our focus is on you, not on profits. This dedication to member service led to record-breaking performance and growth for Dayer in 2022. The credit union ended the year with over $678 million in assets, serves just shy of 50,000 members, and is well capitalized. Both our growth and capital reserves to continue to exceed that of our peers. At our core, we're dedicated to delivering banking experiences that surpass expectations. We strive continuously to provide products and services that improve lives and contribute toward members' financial health. In 2022, we launched and enhanced various offerings, including launching credit scores within the Dayer app, giving you quicker access to your credit score information. We enhanced the one-click loan offers to provide an even more frictionless borrowing experience for you and all other members, helping get you needed funds quickly and safely. We updated the Dayer app and online banking with several things: card control widget, quicker account summaries, credit score information, and new quick transfer options. We launched a new appointment scheduling software to make it easier for you to book appointments online, over the phone, and/or via the Dayer app. Banking with Dayer gives you a truly one-of-a-kind experience. Members enjoy modern, efficient, industry-leading digital services combined with the personalized attention you can only get from a local financial institution. Speaking of being local, our membership reflects the diverse, vibrant Miami Valley communities we proudly serve. We care about our members and are committed to creating opportunities for their financial well-being. This commitment leads to a strong financial performance year in and year out. 2022 was no different. like to share just a few of the key highlights your credit union achieved last year. Total assets grew by over 11% to $678 million and continues to grow this year. Day Air members received over $7.5 million in direct financial benefit in 2022. A consulting firm concocted that or came up with that number after comparing to the offerings of other banking institutions. So we feel really good about providing that direct financial benefit. Over $330 million in loans were made last year, helping more than 11,000 of our members and businesses achieve their dreams. Cashback checking account holders earned over $374,000 in cash back just for using their Day Air debit card last year. Total deposits at Day Air increased by 11% to over $570 million. We once again set a new Net Promoter Score record of 82.2%, which is evidence of the quality service that's being offered day in and day out by our very talented, hardworking staff of associates. It serves as a testament to our commitment to provide members with unparalleled service. Day Air continues to be one of the few financial institutions in Southwest Ohio designated as a community development financial institution, and we feel very good about the efforts made to serve the underserved in our community. Once again, we are listed as a Fast 50 and a top 100 business by the Dayton Business Journal in our community. For the fourth year in a row, we were recognized as a best place to work in the Miami Valley. Finally, we welcome nearly 8,400 new members and serve just shy of 50,000 members now of your family, friends, and neighbors. As Day Air grows, so too does our dedication to making a positive impact in the local community. In 2022, we contributed over 80,000 in donations and sponsorships to more than 60 community organizations. We continued our free adult and youth financial education classes. We awarded 5 scholarships for continuing education to area students. We partnered with the Dayton Dragons to raise more than $17,000 for the Dayton VA Fisher House. Our team is proud to be part of the daily fabric that makes our communities stronger. You, as members, make this possible by keeping your money with a financial institution that holds those funds right here in our community. Speaking of keeping things in the community, we continued our partnership with the Dayton Dragons and utilizing Day Air Ballpark as a center for philanthropy and economic growth in our community. Day Air Ballpark ranked first last year in attendance for all minor league teams in the country, averaging more than 7,900 fans per game. That's something all people in Dayton should be very proud of. More than 500,000 people enjoyed family fun entertainment at Day Air Ballpark in 2022. Day Air and the Dayton Dragons raised over $35,000 for the community. More than 2,000 area high school students attended Day Air College Prep Night at Day Air Ballpark. And Day Air Ballpark continues to be the foundation for more than $27 million of annual economic impact for the region. We look forward to continuing to make significant impacts for our members and the community through our partnership with the Dayton Dragons and Day Air Ballpark. It's an honor to be the president and CEO of your credit union. Once again, I'd like to thank the tremendous group of people that work day in and day out as the board of directors of your organization. And I'd like to thank the tremendous efforts of our extremely talented and hardworking team of associates. This passionate team works hard every day to bring members unbeatable value and service for their banking needs, something we call a better banking experience. Now, I'd like to answer a few questions that were submitted via email. If you'd like to submit questions, please email them now to annualmeeting@dayair.org. The first question we have is, how is Day Air different than the big banks like SVB that recently collapsed? Is my money safe at Day Air? Great question. SVB stands for Silicon Valley Bank. It was a very big bank, a little over 200 billion in assets. that failed 6 to 7 weeks ago. That Day Air Credit Union, as most community banks and credit unions, are very different than that big bank. That bank served a certain niche, whereas Day Air serves the community at large. Only 6% of that bank's deposits were insured, the rest of them being in accounts with over $250,000 balances. It's very, very different than at Day Air, where the vast majority of our accounts are low dollar accounts spread over many, many households, 49,000 to be exact, 50,000. SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, incurred some concentration risk, and that was a problem. It roiled the financial markets. It is something that the regulators, the Federal Reserve, acted upon very, very quickly. And there is, they quickly alleviated any concerns about the stability of the banking system. When you're banking with Day Air Credit Union, as was mentioned by Chairman Brown and by myself earlier, your money stays in your community. And that's the big difference. So we are serving a large number of people who collectively have a decent amount of money, but there is no concentration risk that's tantamount to what occurred at Silicon Valley Bank. So your money, bottom line, is very safe at Day Air Credit Union. Okay, there's another question that came in. I've heard a lot about cybersecurity threats recently. What steps is Day Air taking to ensure the safety of my accounts? Cybersecurity incidents have been happening with more and more occurrences lately, and that's just a shame. That there's a lot of fraudsters out there, and they're poking and prodding at not only the credit union systems, but every system out there of every business and every organization. And we take those threats very, very seriously. So your credit union provides financial advice in the form of newsletters and on the website, helping you as a member to keep your account safe. And then, of course, we employ tremendous cybersecurity procedures to keep your data safe. So we take the safety and security of your funds very, very seriously. We also take very seriously the safety of all your private information. And you can rest assured that your information is safe at Day Air Credit Union. Another question is, what type of business banking services does Day Air offer? Do you offer anything different than some of the other area banks? Again, great question. There are more and more small businesses that are somewhat unenamored with their bank, and so they approach Day Air, and we do have a tremendous number of account and service offerings for those small businesses. We have different online banking platforms that are geared just for a small business, very different than our consumer online banking and mobile banking platforms. Pretty much any service that a small business needs, from loans like commercial real estate loans, term loans, line of credit loans, to depository or treasury management services, which have to do with money management and funds transfer and access to funds, Day Air offers. So are they different than other banks? Yes and no. At a high level, most banks and credit unions offer various services to serve not only the small business market, but any segment of the population. There might be some differences of various services or products, but the big difference that a small business, or anybody for that matter, obtains when they come to Day Air Credit Union is the fact that we are local. We have Miami Valley people here at the credit union looking out for and serving other Miami Valley people. So we would be more than happy to talk to you about your small business account needs or your consumer account needs. And it looks like there are no other questions. So I would like to turn the meeting back over to Chairman Brown. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks to our members who submitted questions. Thanks to everyone again for joining us for our 78th annual meeting. There being no other business to address at this annual meeting, the 78th annual meeting of Day Air Credit Union is hereby adjourned. Wish you all a great evening and a good night. Thank you.